newer demos that really utilize all the latest technologies that we talked about. Now, in this generation, we decided it's our 10th architecture. It's something of a milestone for us. So we're trying to figure out what would be a great demo to show this off. And we thought of the lunar landing. This is a recreation of the Apollo 11 lunar landing. And this is actually Buzz Aldrin coming off the LEM. And we decided to recreate the entire scene. So earlier you saw on the right-hand side, we had an actual photo, and on the left-hand side was this recreation we did. And as you can see, we had to model the entire thing, right, with global illumination, as well as all the lighting information that Nick just said. So we're trying to recreate everything in terms of the placement of the sun, the materials of the LEM, and even the materials of the regolith, otherwise known as moon dust. So throughout this whole process, we basically thought about the conspiracy theories that this was staged and faked, and we were able to basically debunk it.
Well, that's a key goal, right? That everybody, there's still tons of people today that believe, right, the moon landing never happened, and there's people that say yes, and here's the reasons why. Here's actual, proof why we did. Of course, NASA, everybody. But there's a ton of guys who say no, it didn't because of the lighting, because of the way it looks staged, and there's all these things. So this is our sort of way to show that yes, it really did indeed happen if you look at lighting in the proper way and remodel the scene.
Yeah, so the first thing that conspiracy theorists say, because there's only one light source, the sun, and Buzz is in the, I guess, the backside of the LEM, shouldn't he look kind of like this? Just entirely in the shadow, right? But we know that's not how light works. It bounces around, it has the material of the LEM itself, and even, just modeling this out for us was pretty difficult, and it's amazing they ever landed. NASA keeps a really detailed account of how the LEM was made. It's literally foil, paper, tape, all the, I guess the oranges lines you see on the gray, that's tape. And of course some other metals, but generally speaking, it seems pretty flimsy. Besides that, we have to look at this moon dust, or regolith. Regolith, it actually doesn't reflect a lot of light. It has a reflection properties of about 12%, but because it's crystalline structure, it reflects light back to the source. So that's why when you look at it, the moon looks a lot brighter during a full moon. And it's like multiple times brighter during full moon versus when it's waxing or waning. So you'll see that the more the sun comes our direction in this demo, the brighter it gets. The second theory that people say is there is no atmosphere on the moon. Shouldn't you see stars? But you don't. That's the quote-unquote starry sky. But actually, there are stars. We modeled about 84,000 stars in this model. As you can see, there's a lot of them. Now, the reason why you don't see it is because it was a photo of Buzz Aldrin, right? You want to see it with the sun in the back. You need to see everything. So the exposure, the aperture, it was all tweaked so that you could see Buzz Aldrin. Otherwise, it would look like this. Kind of bright. So going back to how the photo actually was. So we've talked about two main points that people have talked about. And when we were modeling this, we tried to be as accurate as possible in terms of the materials, everything in the scene, placement, stuff like that. But when we looked at it, something just didn't look quite right. Buzz looked brighter in the photo. Right? He just looked brighter in the photo. And a lot of people were saying there's I guess a arm that kind of flops out, and
Retractable arm.
yeah, it flops out with the camera on it. So that's the camera that took the photos of Neil Armstrong and of Buzz Aldrin in this situation. So in the black and white photo, there was a white light source like right here. And people were saying, wait, there's only one light source. Why is there another light source on the moon? That just doesn't make sense. That's got to be staged. Hollywood or something, right? And for us, when we're looking at this photo, it just wasn't bright enough. For some reason, the photo looked brighter. And, you know, we were stuck on that for a while until one of our engineers asked, so who took that photo? Who took the first photo we looked at? And then it occurs to us, oh yeah, once you add Neil Armstrong into the scene, then it all makes sense. We got the photo that looked right. We had the right lighting, with and without Neil Armstrong. You notice that the lighting does change. And with him, it just really makes the scene. And it made sense to us, and that's why there was that white spot in...
He's a light source, he's a reflector.
Yeah, this photo, and back to this one, and he's actually the second brightest light source in the scene. The suit's made of something called beta cloth, and it reflects about 90% of light. So he is, besides the sun itself, he is the brightest thing on the moon. So then you get this whole effect, and you can see that that's how we recreated this whole scene and debunked a lot of conspiracy theories through the recreation of light. And that's our demo.
With VXGI.
Yep, with VXGI.
And let's go ahead and look at the voxel structure.
Sure, so I'm going back to this orbiting camera view.
Okay.
And like Nick mentioned, we don't really draw out the voxel structure, but for lighting purposes, you can see that the opacity is right in this structure right here. It's normally not drawn out, but the red is opaque, the blue is either reflective or maybe semi-transparent or something like that. And then we keep all the lighting information like this. The direct lighting information like this. That's why the structure is hollow, and that's why you don't see Buzz Aldrin in this one. It's only direct light, and you can see that only the front side is pretty much lit up. You see little like moving boxes at the bottom, like these small things, and sometimes they disappear. Those are the little rocks, the moon rocks we drew out in the model.
Cool. Yep. And can we do the Cornell rocks just as well?
Yeah. Can we go to PC2, please?
So anyway, the conspiracy theorists